Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Kat. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing a session using one of these massage balls. If you do not have one of these and you have a tennis ball, that works just as well. So there's going to be some exercises, but we're mainly going to focus on deep tissue work, stretching, and massage points. So grab your ball and make your way to your mat. We're going to start standing. You can have the ball on your mat, and we're just gonna roll out the soles of the feet here. So maybe starting with your right foot, and you're just gonna massage the whole underside of your foot, making sure to get the heel, the toes, and just constantly moving around here. Don't think about it too much. You can go in circles, you can go up and down, sideways, doesn't matter. Just keep the movement going. So we're doing this for about 1 minute, more or less. When you're doing these on your own, you can always set a timer and just set it to 1 minute and then switch after a minute. So on that note, let's go to the other foot. Same thing here. If you need something for support to help keep your balance, you can always have a chair close by. We're going to be on our mat for the most part, but just this beginning part standing can challenge the balance for some people, which is not a bad thing. It's good to work on the balance, but if you need the extra support, don't hesitate. Make sure you apply enough pressure that you feel like you're stimulating, but it shouldn't be painful. The arch of the foot tends to be quite sensitive, so don't go too deep that it starts to create pain. A few more seconds here. And release. We're gonna make our way now to our mats. So take the ball with you. You can place it out at the front. You're gonna come laying down, and you're gonna have your heel, the heel of the right foot on the ball. Your toes will be pointing up. You can take your hands behind your head. We're gonna inhale here. As we exhale, you're gonna first push your heel down into the ball like you wanna really jam it in there, and then lift head, shoulders, scapula off the mat, and then release back down. Release the tension. Keep the heel down, just don't press so hard on it. And again, push down first into the ball, and then lift up and come down as you release the tension. 2 more times. Press the heel down, keep the toes up, lift your chest, and release down. 1 more time, push the heel down, lift up, and come back down. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. We're gonna roll it out, and then roll it back in. And again, roll it out, and roll it back in, moving slow. 2 more. And last one, we're gonna keep the leg out nice and long. You wanna make sure that your ball is underneath your calf muscle, so right at the belly of that muscle there. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms up. You're gonna roll it all the way up, folding over your left thigh. From here, I want you to push your right leg front. You're gonna feel the ball rolling, and then take it back. So you're pushing your hip. Imagine you wanna stamp your foot, so your hips coming front, and then your hips going back. So there's a little bit of a tilting motion happening here. You can hold on to your opposite leg. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. Moving those hips, hiking one side, then taking it back to neutral. Good, and then keep the ball where it is. You're gonna extend your spine, take your arms out behind you. Your fingertips can be pointing out sideways, back, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna tuck the tailbone, lift the hips up, and you wanna keep your calf muscle onto the ball. From here, we're gonna go front, don't go to the knee, and then come back. So we're just focusing on the belly of that big muscle. Do not, again, I repeat, go behind the knee, don't even go too close to the knee. There's lots of tendons and ligaments in that area, and you wanna avoid those. So we're just rolling out. A few more times. Again, if you were to do these on your own, you could set a timer, do it for 1 minute. And take the ball back to hips back down, fold over that left leg, and then lower back all the way down to your mat. We're gonna do the same sequence the opposite way. So you're gonna have the ball now underneath your left heel. Remember, your toes are pointing straight up. Starting with your hands behind your head. So we always wanna, I'd like to start all my workouts with some core engagement here. Never hurts to do a little bit of core work. Keeping your elbows wide. First, dig your left heel into the ball. And then you lift your chest as you keep pushing your heel down. And then you release. And again, first, the heel pushes down. Then you lift your chest, keeping those elbows wide, and release it all. And again, let's do just 2 more here. Push the heel, and up, and down. Just 1 more. Push the heel down, lift up, and take it all the way down. You can take your arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to extend that leg, and then bend it, come back in. And again, reach it out, and in. If you lose your ball, that's okay. Don't worry about it too much. Let's just do 1 more here. Keeping the leg extended here, we're gonna roll it up. You're gonna fold over your leg here. You can keep holding onto that leg, keep the left foot flexed, and again, imagine you're trying to push your leg, take your leg front, and then take it back to neutral. And again, go front and neutral. 3 more. Let's go 2 and 1. Take it back, sit up, take your arms out behind you, lift your hips up, and from here, keeping the hips lifted. Now we're going for a little bit larger range of motion, still staying only onto the calf muscle. Again, I'm reminding you to avoid your knee area and avoid all tendons and direct joints. So we're always focusing on the bellies of the muscles. Let's do a few more. And 1 more. Take the ball back to the center of the belly. Take your bum down. You can round over your leg first and then roll it back all the way down. Good job. You're going to take the ball, place it off to the side. Keep both legs out in front of you. Your feet are pointed and your legs are hip width. Reach your arms behind you, nice and slow. We're going to go into a few roll-ups here. Arms up, tuck your chin, roll up, round over your legs, and then keeping the rounding of the spine, shoulders away from the ears, tuck your tailbone, lower back all the way down. And again, inhale, come up. Exhale as you fold front. And going back down. And 2 more. And down. And just last one. And come down. And we're just going to come up, but this time we're not going to roll back down. So you're just going to come out to seated position. Take the ball. This time you're going to place it behind your hamstring, so behind the thigh. You can bend that opposite leg, so keeping your left leg bent. Again, taking your arms behind you. And we're going to roll it out here. You want to keep some pressure on the ball. And then you can even start to go sideways. So we're trying to get the whole backside and IT band of that right leg. So you're using your arms to guide you. Avoiding, again, all bony structures. And just focusing on the muscles. Do that a few times more. Don't think about it too much. As we're doing with the feet, you just want to keep some constant motion here. And let's release. Keep the ball where it is. You're going to come to a seated upright position, and you're going to start the ball closer to your knee. Again, not at the knee, not even too close to the knee, but imagine you're dividing your thigh into 3 segments. One segment very close to your glutes, one right in the middle, and one closest to the knee. And we're going to start in that portion that's closest to the knee here. You're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to keep that opposite left leg bent. Wrap your hands around your shin here, so it's going to help you stay in an upright position. We're going to flex that right foot rather, and then inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to think about reaching, lifting the heel off the ground as you push your thigh down, and then release. And again, inhale here, exhale, push down, and release 2 more times. Lift as you push down, lengthen your spine, and release, and last one. Push down as you lengthen, and down. Good. Take the ball, transfer it now to the middle portion of the hamstring. Same thing here. First, sit up tall. Use your hands here, your arms to pull you up. Inhale. As you exhale, we think about lifting the heel. Extend the knee, push down into the ball. Hold it for a moment, and release. We've got 3 more. Exhale, push down as you reach. And release. 2 more. Lengthen up, shoulders down. And down, and 1 more. And down, great job. 1 more area, so close to your glutes. Not at the bony structure, as high up as I'll go, but still in the flesh. Sitting up nice and tall. Inhale here, exhale, push down, and release. And again, push down as you extend the leg, and release. Now there should be no intense pain. Make sure you're not feeling anything that's too uncomfortable. If there is, move your ball around. You can even go back to lower, you can go a little bit more sideways. Just find a spot in the general upper area of your hamstring that feels at the very least bearable. And release. Let's do 1 more here. Sit up tall, push and reach. Good job, and release. Take the ball. We're going to go now to the glutes. So being careful, we're not going to hit directly the head of the femur. The femur is the thigh bone. It sits in your hip socket. We're not going to touch that part at all. So you're going to find the belly, the fleshiest part of your glutes, and that's where the ball's going to go. Your hands are behind you. Your legs, don't worry about how you want to place them for now. I like to start with my knees bent, so I have more control, more weight on my legs. And then you can start just kind of circling the ball around. Again, focus on the belly of the muscles. If there's some areas that are really tender, you can hold it here for a little bit. You can do little motions. And keep at it. We're going to be doing this for maybe a minute. So it's either going to feel really nice in some areas and then really awful in others. If you want to add more weight, you start to extend your legs out. So the less weight you have on your feet, the more weight's going to be in your hip area, which means you're going to be pressing down harder on the ball, and it's going to go deeper. And obviously, you'll feel it more and could be more painful. So again, you gauge, you're in your body, I'm not, no one else is. Don't want to go into too deep pain, you want to feel it, but if it's too painful, your body has a tendency to like seize up, and then, well, you're not really allowing the muscles to fully relax, which is what we want to do with these exercises here. Release tensions. Keep going. And let's stop it here. Come off the ball. Before we move to the other side, push your ball to the side here and come into a tabletop position. Tuck your toes. We're going to come into a downward dog position, and I want you to focus on that leg that you were just working. So that's probably your right leg if we're doing the same side as I was. And then just kind of feel the difference between both sides. You may even want to pedal your legs the way that I'm doing. And can you tell the difference? Is one easier to stretch? Does one feel lighter? Chances are the answer is yes. And that's good. That means what we did was effective. And come down. Let's do a cat stretch here. Tuck your tailbone round, just to release any tension we may have accumulated in the back. And lengthen. Let's move on to the other side. I'm going to turn so my working leg is facing you guys. So again, remembering that we've got our quad into 3 segments. So let's start at the segment that's closest to the knee. Your opposite leg is bent here. You're using your arms to lengthen that spine up. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, really flex the foot. The heel will come up and push down, and we hold it here. And release. And again, we've got 3 more in this section. Push down as you reach the leg. And release. Good job. 2 more. And down, last one. And release. Take the ball a little bit higher up. Regroup here. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, exhale, we push down. Flex the foot. Hold this for a second or 2, and then release. And again, exhale, press down. And release. 2 more times. Push down. Flex the foot. The heel should be lifted. And release. Just 1 more in this area. And release. Good. Now moving the ball a little bit higher, keeping in mind that it probably will get a little bit more sore in this area here, so you need to gauge where you place the ball. Don't hesitate to move it around. As I said, you don't want to be on some nerves. You don't want to be in an area that's too painful. Sit up tall and exhale, push. And release. And again, reach the leg as you push it down. Lengthen your spine. And 2 more. And 1 more. And release. Good. Take the ball. Place it again towards the lower end here. No, sorry. Let's place it at the glutes rather. And then hands behind you. And we're going for the glutes here. Again, not getting onto the head of the femur. Being very careful. If there's some extra sensitive areas, I encourage you to stay there for a little bit. Maybe do some smaller motions. Don't hesitate to move your feet around. If you want to bend your knees, extend one leg, extend the other leg, whatever's comfortable. There's no true form and way to do these. You just want to have to go with the flow, and whatever your body's feeling, just listen to that and work your way around those kinks and pains maybe that you have. So maybe another 15-20 seconds on this side. And carefully come off the ball. You can place it off to the side. We're going to do another downward dog and see how that feels. So tucking your toes, pick up your hips. Hopefully both legs feel equally as nice. You can bend one knee and then the other if you wish, or you can keep both legs straight. And then come back to a tabletop position. Take the ball once more. You're going to place it just in front of your thighs. We're going to go and work the thighs here. So we'll be laying down on our bellies. And actually, you're going to keep your forearms down for this one. And start with the ball. Again, you've got those 3 areas of the quad. So let's start with that area that is closest to your knee, not on the knee. We're going to inhale here, and then as you exhale, I want you to gently allow that right leg to really sink into the ball. And then lift up, release. And again, just allow the weight to fall into the ball. My hips are falling closer to the mat, and release. 2 more times. And down, just 1 more. and release. Come off of it. We're going to push the ball up a little bit higher. So this time it'll be more towards the center of the thigh. Same thing here. So we're hovering off the ball, and then as you exhale, you just allow the weight to fall down. And hold it here and release. And again, push down. We're only doing 2 segments or 2 sections for the quads. And release, 2 more. And last one, we're going to hold it here on this next one. You're going to bend your right knee with a pointed foot, then you're going to flex it and then take it down. And again, bend, pointed, flex, and down. And again, point the foot, take the leg in, flex it in, and down. 2 more. And flex, and down. Last one. And down. Take it all the way down. This time, come all the way to your belly here. You can have your hands stacked one on top of the other on your forehead. And then you can just sway your hips side to side. You can adjust the ball. You can take it lower, closer to the knee. You can take it higher. Just keep moving your hips side to side here. And as needed, you move your ball around, trying to get as much of the quad as possible. And let's release it. You can take the ball off to the side. Hands by your rib cage, press yourselves up, and then you're going to take your left leg front. From here, we're going to focus on placing the weight just above the knee, so never on the kneecap. We're going to bend the back leg here, either staying here for a nice quad stretch, or you can use your opposite hand to reach for your foot and pull it in. But again, make sure you're not directly on your kneecap. If this is very challenging for you, you can come to a standard standing quad stretch. You can even use your stool or your chair, couch, whatever for balance. Wherever you're at, we're just stretching out that right quad. And release it. Take your left knee back. Let's move on to the other side. So this time the ball is going to be closest to the knee underneath the left quad. We are down on our forearms to help support the weight a little bit here. We don't want to go too intense too quickly. Inhale here, and as you exhale, just press down. Allow your hips to slowly melt towards the ground, and then release the pressure. Engage the core. So that's where that core comes in. You shouldn't feel tension in the lower back. If you're feeling in the lower back, you're probably arching the lower back and you're not engaging the core. So you need to keep pulling your belly button in here to help protect the back. And the goal is not to take the hips to the ground. The goal is just to apply pressure onto the ball. And one more here for good measure. Good job. Carefully come out of it. Take the ball up a little bit higher. We've got 4 to do here. Every time you exhale, you push down. Pull the belly button in at the same time. Every time you inhale, you release. 2 more. And last one. Good, and then take the ball. It's going to be about halfway on your thigh to start. You're going to come all the way down onto your bellies, hands stacked one on top of the other, dropping your forehead on the top hand. And from here, you can just swing your hips side to side, moving the ball sideways on your thigh. And then you can push it up, push it lower. Again, go to where you need it the most. I'm just your guide right now. More seconds here of movement this way. take the ball away. Again, hands come by your rib cage. Carefully push yourselves up. And we're gonna go into a quad stretch on that side. So take your right leg this time in front of you. Again, choosing the variation of quad stretch that works best for you. And these stretches I tend to hold for about 30 seconds. So when it's more dynamic and there's movement, we're going for about a minute. And then the ones we're holding, usually 30 seconds. At least for today. And I just realized I forgot something, so we're gonna make our way back to our bellies. Sorry about that. Don't want to keep you lopsided. Place the ball, again, underneath your thigh. Forehead down. Bend, or we were on our forearms actually, or you can come all the way down. If you're down, it doesn't really matter, but you're just gonna have more weight on the ball. So if you wanna go down all the way on your bellies, that's fine. Or if you wanna have less pressure, come down onto your forearms. And we're pointing the foot, take the leg in and flex and down. And again, take it in and flex in and down. 3 more. In and flex and down. 2 more. And flex and down. Last one. And flex and down. And now we can release. Good. Push the ball over to the side. We're going to come back onto hands and knees. Let's go for another calf stretch here as we did previously. Really just to release tension in the back. And then you're going to take the ball and you're going to place it underneath your left palm. First thing we're going to do, you're just going to roll it out as we were doing standing up. Just quickly here, and then other side, rolling it out. Good job. Let's go back to the left side. Take your palm onto your left palm on the ball. From here, you're going to reach your opposite right leg behind you, so not too high. I don't want to see any lower backs arching here. Keep it in line with your tailbone. From here, your fingertips are pointing straight forward. We're going to bend the right elbow as we roll the ball out in front of us. You're going to massage out your left forearm. Don't go onto the elbow. Remember, we're avoiding joints. And then push back up, taking the ball back underneath your hand. So lots going on here. You bend your right elbow back as you roll the ball out, trying to keep that back leg lifted. If that's too much, you can take your right knee down. I just like to add a little bit of a core challenge while we're doing these. And up, 2 more. And up. Last one, you're gonna hold it out. Keep reaching your arm. Now if your knee was down, take your leg up. Your right elbow's still bending back. We're gonna pulse the leg up. Squeeze your glutes. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it all the way. Take your knee down. Other side. So the ball comes underneath your right hand. We're going to lift and reach the left leg behind us. We roll the ball out as we bend that left elbow back. Careful your elbow, and then come back up. And again, roll it down. Bend your left elbow backwards and up. Make sure that elbow, the left one that's bending, you're framing your rib cage. So your elbow should be pointing towards your left toes and not sideways. 2 more. Again, you've got the option for this first part to keep your left knee on the ground. On this next one, we're going to keep it out here. If your knee was on the ground, pick it up. We pulse. Keep bending your left elbow. Keep framing your rib cage. Keep reaching that right arm in front of you. There's a little bit of pressure from the ball to your forearm. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in. Good, take the ball away, hands down, tuck your tailbone round, come into a shell stretch. Good job. We're gonna go back to our mats on our backs and take the ball with you. You're gonna have your knees bent, hip width. We're gonna place the ball just on the right side, so not on the spine. We're never ever going to go straight onto the spine. And you're gonna go right below the shoulder blade to the right side of your spine. So you should feel some muscles here. That's where we're gonna place it. Okay, so we're quite high, about midway on the back. And we're just gonna hold it here a little bit. Now your feet are flat on the floor. If you need to, you can lift your glutes here and then add a little bit more support so you don't have the whole pressure of your back resting on the ball. We're gonna hold it here and then we can do a little bit of side movement. Don't go too deep here. Again, you have to find the places that work for you, avoiding bone structures. So let's not go on the scapula, definitely not on the spine. And then if you want, you can go a little bit lower. We're just gonna slowly make our ways down. Small controlled motions. And take it down a little bit. As we get to the lower back, you're gonna put less pressure on your ball. Okay, you've got all your visceral organs and just wanna be very mindful. So small, gentle rocking motion. Getting a little closer to the lower back. And then we're gonna go right at the lower back, close to where the sacrum is. And this one here, I'm gonna ask you to hold it in place. We're just gonna hold this. Again, if your glutes are down, it's gonna put a lot of pressure on the ball. I like to stay lifted a little bit so I have a bit more control on the amount of pressure. Just holding it a little bit longer. And lift your hips, remove the ball, take your hips back down. From here, keep the ball to the side. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tailbone, round your spine, lifting all the way up, and roll back down. 3 more times, tuck, we lift, and down. 2 more, and down, and last one, and all the way down. Great job. Other side. So take the ball. Again, it's to the left now of the spinal column and just below the shoulder blade. So right where there's a little bit more muscle. I definitely keep my hips lifted, otherwise it's way too intense. And then we're just holding a little bit, maybe swaying side to side. Again, there should be no true discomfort. You don't want to go too deep with these. And then you can move it down a little bit. And we're slowly making our way down. And down a little bit more. And then we should be fairly close to the sacrum. Once you're there, here's the part where maybe for some of you it works to take your hips down. Maybe you stay lifted, that's fine. Maybe you hold it in place. Maybe you move a little bit, but eventually we're just, all of us, going to hold it in place for a little bit. So if you're moving, find a steady form and just hold it here and breathe. And lift your hips, remove the ball, take your hips back down. Inhale, prepare in neutral. Exhale, we tug the tailbone, lift up. Arms can follow the movement. And lower down. And 2 more. And down. And again. And just do 1 more here. And taking it all the way down. Good job. Take your legs in towards your chest. You're going to hold the backs of your thighs Lift your chest up, come into a little ball here. And slowly you can rock yourselves front and back. We're going to do this a few times, massaging out the spine. And eventually coming up to seated. We are nearing the end. Take your ball. You can start in a kneeling position here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stay quite low to the ground, but you're going to have your toes sort of wrapped around your ball. Okay, so align your feet. You just have the toes kind of, imagine if you're trying to hold your ball here. Bend your knees quite a lot, so you can have your belly on your thighs. From here, we're going to extend the legs and then bend. And again, extend the legs and bend. So extending them as straight as they'll go, knowing that they may not extend fully, and that's fine. A few more times. Good, last time here, we're gonna start to roll up. Coming to an upright position, you're gonna roll out your foot a few times. Taking it back down, reach your arms up, exhale, roll down, all the way front, bend your knees, transfer the ball now, wrapping your left toes around it. Here we go, as you exhale, extend your legs as much as you can, and release, bend. And again, extend, and bend. Exhale as you reach, lengthen, bend. Just one more time, extend your legs, and bend, and tuck your tailbone. Keep your arms head heavy in front of you, rolling all the way up, upright position, roll it out. And take your toes back onto the ball. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, roll down. Good, and push the ball off to the side. Really bend your knees here, belly button in. Nice and slow, reach all the way up. Deep inhalation. Exhale, just take your hands behind you, interlacing your fingers. Reach your arms, open the chest. And release. Final inhalation here. Taking both arms up into prayer. Exhaling through heart center. You are done. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this was a little different than what I normally do. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. Totally cool with me. Any comments, feedback, I appreciate. And if you'd like to see more of these types of classes, please let me know. Please write some comments, share, subscribe. Everything you guys do helps me out a lot. So on that note, take care. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day and aloha.